What's good? What's good with it? It's your boy McFly, man. Coming at you again, decked out in my Panther gear. This ain't no throwback either. Number 90, Julius Peppers jersey, the greatest defensive end to ever play the game. Original release from the mid-90s, from the early 2000s. So I say mid-90s, he wasn't playing in the mid-90s. Early 2000s. Certified Panther fan. Charlotte, stand up, baby. We're here. You know what I'm saying? We're here. But I just want to take this time, man, have a discussion. I'm start calling this segment "Let Me Talk to Him," and this is gonna be a segment where I pretty much just have a discussion with you guys about things that's really brewing on my brain. And right now, the main question I have, the biggest, I guess, controller of the sneaker community right now is StockX. So we gonna talk about StockX. I'm gonna ask some questions. You know, why are we as consumers, buyers, sellers, why are we allowing StockX to control our market when we don't even know everything about StockX, man? First of all, I'll say this. I do buy shoes. I have purchased pairs of shoes from StockX. I do not have a problem with StockX or their service or their customer service. I've never had an issue with StockX. I prefer StockX over GOAT. I've dealt with them both in the past, and at one point in life, I was all GOAT, strictly GOAT, and I wouldn't deal with StockX. Had a, what's the word? Had a unfavorable experience with GOAT and cut them off. Haven't been back since. I gave StockX a shot, and I've been dealing with them ever since. But I just wanted to know, why are we letting them control our market? And here's what I mean. Every time a shoe comes out, everybody's talking about StockX got it for this, StockX got it for that, StockX. Oh yeah, I got this shoe, I'm trying to sell it. Well, StockX has it for cheaper. StockX has got this. StockX, boopity, 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 StockX. It's all about StockX. It's all you ever hear. I'm actually in a sneaker group, and they prohibit you selling a shoe for more than a StockX price. What type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? What? How? Why? You know, I didn't ask any questions, but you know, I don't really sell too much stuff on in Facebook groups or sneaker groups, so it wasn't really that big a deal to me because that ain't what I do. But why are we giving StockX so much power? You know, and I also do a video on why I prefer StockX over GOAT, or what I like best about each one. But that'll come at a later date. You know, people go and they say, hey, well, this sold on StockX for so much and yada, yada, yada. How can you prove that? How can you prove it? StockX claims to have all these reported sales of where these shoes done sold from. How? How? Who's reporting information to StockX on a shoe that was sold? Who's doing that? You're not getting any other major brands, any of your Foot Lockers, Champs, Foot Actions, Jimmy Jazz, DTLRs. You're not getting any of them because you know they're selling them for retail. You're not getting your mom and pops. They're not reporting to them. Your consignment shops is not, oh man, we just sold that shoe. Let's send it on down. Let's send the information in to StockX. They're not doing that. GOAT's partner with Fight Club. So I refuse to believe that they will give their information to the competition. I refuse to believe that. I don't think that they would do that. You know, you can look up last sale information on eBay, but that don't necessarily make it accurate. Where are they getting these statistics from? Now, the shoes that are actually sold on StockX is understandable. You have that information. But all these pairs that are being sold are not sold on StockX. It even tells you on the website that this data has been collected from other sources. So pretty much, you know, as one of the homies, James, you know, was when me and him were talking about it, he was saying that they're pretty much just using the pricing tool to control the market. And realistically, you know, I believe that. You know, if you're running the market, you say, hey, well, we want this shoe to sell for this amount so we can get our pairs off, then you know what I'm saying, that's what they're gonna do. Or we don't want this shoe above this price. So when it comes down to people who, you know, resell out here, we've got to do more work to get our pairs off, you know. And when reselling a pair, you know, it's a lot of stuff that you got to equate for. You know, StockX ain't doing nothing. People sending the shoe in, they're so-called authenticating the shoe, and then they're shipping it back. They're shipping it back to somebody. They're middleman servicing all day. But what about the people who don't have middlemen? What about Joe Schmo like me? I get a shoe. So I've got my time invested in that. My time is worth something. My gas is worth something. I got to ship it. That's worth something. You know, and you mean to tell me that my price is too high, you'd rather get it from StockX? You don't know where that StockX pair is coming from. You don't know who that man is that's selling that shoe. But you're caught up in the guaranteed authentication of these shoes. And why is that? Is that for the false sense of comfort? You know, you can have people, you know, you can search YouTube. There's people with plenty of videos saying that they got fakes from StockX or they got fakes from Go. And I believe that a fake pair could get through. But any site, you're paying them for a service. You're paying them to authenticate your shoe. And you still have to double check your shoe on the back end. Y'all don't see a problem with that? Like, why are we listening to them and their statistics? Realistically, I've never gotten a fake shoe from StockX. Never gotten a fake shoe from StockX. Never got a shoe that wasn't in DS condition from StockX. Never had a problem with StockX. But me being me, man, the Gemini brain, you have to ask these questions. Where are they getting their data from? How are they authenticating these shoes? How do they have these shoes early? Every week they're talking about something early. Where are these people getting these early pairs from, man? Where are all these early pairs coming from? You know, and I can see if it was just 1 or 2 pairs, you got some human races up on there and you got a size 7 and a size 10. All right, fine. You might have got them backdoored or somebody might be plugged in or whatever. That's cool. Ooh. But full-size runs, man. Full-size runs. How are they getting retail full-size runs early? Super early? Come on, man. And they telling you that they're available early. So that means that people putting them up on their service. People are using that service. And you know, man, some UAs done probably got through. And, you know, you're not going to get no replicas through there. But if you've seen any of these videos with these UAs, boy, that thing, them UAs getting a little crazy. And if you're thirsty enough and you ain't never seen the shoe, you liable, you know, to get got. And just like for the authenticators who haven't seen them, they might be liable to get got too. So we're putting all this faith into these sites that, you know, realistically we can't validate them. We can't validate anything about StockX. You know, we don't really have any proof that they're doing anything that they say they're doing. You know, and you had some of your bigger YouTubers, Tony D and Bull and all them walking around the facility, but of course they're going to put on a show. That day, somebody else had a video where one of the employees actually swapped the pairs out. Or that might have been at Gold. It was one or the other. I can't remember which one, but these things happen, man. And we're putting all our faith into these. We're letting these sites kill our market. We're letting these sites cut out the street level people. You know, and some people it don't hurt, some people it does hurt. Realistically, I mean, I'm straight. I don't get 10s or 20s of pairs, but what I can get, and I don't necessarily have a problem moving it. But you know, people are just putting way too much faith in these sites. You know, you go up here and you got day one shoes on there for under retail. Like, what? How's this up here for under retail? Who's willing to take that loss? I mean, you can cash in your coupons and get some money off, your little rewards or whatever. or you know, it's little things you can do to get money off, but you know, you're not getting the kind of money off to where you could take a 9%, a 9.5% hit, you know, and still be profitable. You're not getting them that cheap. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Now, if it's later on down the line the shoe been out, you catching them on sale, then fine. But I'm really imploring y'all to really think, man. Think about what's really going on these sites. Where are all these early pairs coming from? Where they coming from? How they getting them? How they getting them early? How is that happening? Full size runs. Pairs on pairs on pairs on pairs. I don't give a damn how plugged in you are, man. I don't care how plugged in you are. I don't care. I don't care. Something is fraudulent about that. Something's wrong with it, man. It ain't that many people in the world to be plugged in for there to be pairs on pairs on pairs on pairs on pairs. Hundreds of pairs available of shoes that haven't even been released yet. How? How? You know, I know backdooring exists. I know backdooring is real. I've backdoor pairs myself. You know, I won't tell you from where, but I've gotten backdoor pairs before. You know, I've seen people get backdoor pairs. I've referred people to get backdoor pairs. So, you know, backdooring is real, but the scale of this stuff is very minute, man. It's very small. So people really need to think about, you know, why are we putting all our faith in these sites that we can't even prove are legitimate? Now, if you could go to StockX, you could get a shoe, you could cash out with it, it shows up. Excuse me, and you don't have to double check it or nothing. You know it's good, then you know that'd be one thing. But at this point in time, you can't really do that. Any video of anybody you ever watch talking about any of these resale sites, what do they say? Oh, well, you still gotta know your stuff. You still gotta check your shoe. You know, ain't no telling what you might get, because that's the reality of the situation, man. You know, stop putting false faith, you know, into these sites. And realistically, what I do is, before I buy anything from a Gold or a StockX or whoever, I make sure that I have a retail pair. If I don't have a retail pair, I will not buy that shoe. I won't. I don't care how good the price is or whatever. If I can't compare it to another shoe, I will not buy it. Because there's a lot of people out here getting hit, man. You're getting fakes and you don't even know it. Because you don't know no better. You don't know the game. You don't know that you holding that UA, or you don't know that you holding that Bobo that you holding. So, you know, pretty much for the most part, 90% of my shoe collection, maybe 95% of my shoe collection comes from certified retailers. Your Nikes, your Adidas, your Foot Lockers, Champs, Finish Lines, Jimmy Jazz's, DTLRs, Social Status, you know, any of the main sites or places where people actually, you know, who actually sell authentic shoes. You know, like I said, I have purchased from Gold, I have purchased from StockX, but they're not my go-tos, and I don't buy super hype, super dope shoes. You know, for example, some shoe drops, they only made 100 pairs of the shoe, but it's 200 pairs for sale on StockX. Something wrong with that picture. That's what I'm saying, man. Think about it. Stop letting these outside sources control our markets, man. It used to be the Flight Club who controlled the market pricing or whatnot. That was cool, but Flight Club still didn't have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of pairs. They had pairs, though, don't get me wrong. They had pairs, and they had a lot of pairs. You know, Flight Club, Soul Supremacy, any of these guys, any of these bigger consignment shops or resale shops, buy-sell trades, or whatever you want to call them. Now, I don't have any issue with anybody who buy-sell trades. I mean, it's a legit business. But as far as people getting all this stuff early and doing this and doing that, you know, it's a lot of extra, man. And it's a lot of money being cut out. It's a lot of people taking losses on these shoes. And I don't know anybody that's in this game to take a loss. You know, that don't make sense. So, you know, at the rate that this is going, you have to have big volume. You know, you get 20 pair of shoes, you sell them at $50 over retail, and that's a different game. You know, you can eat. But, you know, the hustle is different. The game is changing. You know, it's constantly moving. It's constantly evolving. And either you can change with it or you can get rolled out. Now you see a lot of people trying to get their money out pre-orders. They're trying to get you early and get you in and pay over for your pair early, so you can pay them resale prices from a couple of years ago that they was hitting them with. So you can pay those, and they can still eat for a shoe that most likely will sit. But that's the game. The thirst, man. The thirst takes over. But you know, that's the only point that I'm trying to make. Why are we putting so much emphasis, you know, on these sites? And why do people take the information for these sites and then try to relay it on other people? StockX has it for $2.99. I don't give a damn what StockX got. If StockX got it for $2.99, then buy that shit from StockX. I'm telling you now, I got my time, gas, energy, effort, shipping, everything tied up into this. And I'm getting you an authentic receipt from an authentic place. StockX ain't doing that. You ain't getting no receipt, bruh. You getting a StockX receipt. You're not getting a store receipt. You don't know where that shoe came from. You don't know who sent it in. But when you're dealing with people like me, you can put a face to it. You know where it came from. And I can tell you, I can prove it to you. It came from this store. This is where I got it. This is the time that I bought it, to the T, everything. Right here on this piece of paper. StockX can't do that. They can't prove to you that they're really authenticating the shoes. What's their authentication process? Does anybody know? On the video, they just showed the guy open the box. It already had a tag on it. He smelled the shoe. He put it back in the box and he shipped it out. That's authentication? I mean, is that what we're doing? Is that authentication? You know, I'm just trying to put this stuff in y'all heads, man, to make people think. You know, everybody want to talk about who's better and who's this and who's that, but they're not talking about the bigger picture, man. They're not talking about, you know, what's really going on out here. They're trying to make sure that you don't see what's really going on out here, because it's something fishy going on. And I can't really put my finger on what it is, but something's up, man. Something's up. And at some point, you know, it's all gonna come out. You know, 10 years from now, you probably ain't gonna, StockX will probably be done for. Gold will be done for. It'll be somebody else doing something totally different, you know, taking their place. It's trending. Everything with sneakers only lasts for a little while, and then it reverts back to the way it was until something else comes along. And for people who's been in the game long enough, they know that. For you people that's just now getting in, this all you know. So you know, you panicking and all this and all that. So, but really, man, that's all that I truthfully had to say. You know, I like to hear you guys' thoughts on how you feel about StockX and what's going down. I'm not saying that they sell fakes. You know, I'm not implying none of that. I'm just asking you guys to think for yourselves about what's really going on out here. You know, let me know what you think, man. I love to have this debate with somebody logical, somebody with some real points. You know, I love to talk it out with them, for real. But as always, man, you know, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Still here, man. Week 2, we out here, still putting on for the city, man. Charlotte, stand up. Holla at you.